no matter what kind of family we're talking about, the family with two parents, the family with parents of the same sex, or the family with only one parent, any kind of family. The harmonization of the family is absolutely critical for one's growth and flourishing. So the importance of family is taken absolutely seriously in all the Confucian culture areas, and now, of course, everybody realizes how important that is. The other one is education. Now, education is like civil religion in China. There's no limit to the investment of education, especially for parents. And of course, now it's highly instrumental, highly pragmatic. That's not the Confucian idea. The Confucian idea of education is learning to be human, to build the characters. And right now, education is totally professionalized. You're forced to become a business, sort of economics major. You're forced to become someone who eventually will be prepared to go to law, to medicine, or to business administration. The pressure is incredible. And that's not a proper way of Confucian education, and yet education is absolutely important. All these societies, it's very strange right now, take examination absolutely seriously, because the idea is only through examination you'll be able to maintain an objective standard. Corruption is so powerful if you allow people to apply with all kinds of criteria, and then high officials will impose some kind of restrictions, and then it will not be fair. So everybody believes you have to take objective exam. And this is true in China, in Taiwan, in Hong Kong, in Korea, in Vietnam, and in Japan. These are the Confucian areas. They take this seriously. But this is, of course, very distorted vision. But the Confucian idea of education as character building is very widely accepted. And the parents will invest incredible amount of time and energy and resources for the education of their children.
Sorry, for the exam you're talking about today or in the past?
Today, the examination system, which is a distortion of the classical idea, but well, it's not just today. Throughout Chinese history, the so-called examination system became established. But of course, the earlier examination turned out to be much more multidimensional. Not only you need to know poetry, you need to know the classics. There are also questions about national policy. And afterwards, there will be interviews. The final round is interview with the emperor. So about, I don't know how many, maybe 200 to 400 will eventually be considered 进士, meaning they pass the high-level examination, that each one of them will be appointed, at least as a magistrate or some high official. So that's a different situation. But even now, in all East Asia, passing the examination to get into good university is absolutely necessary for your path of success. And of course, all these universities, by and large, are national universities. National universities are much more important than any of the private universities. Then the importance of self-cultivation. I don't know how you define self-cultivation, meaning discipline yourself. People from the Confucian culture areas work hard. Work ethic is taken for granted. And hard working is also reflected in their total commitment to learning. But right now, learning is very narrowly conceived, rather than in the traditional society, much broadly conceived. So all these features, the importance of the government, the importance of education, the importance of the family, the importance of self-cultivation, in all East Asian societies, still reflection of the Confucian worldview. Another feature for you to consider, we got a chance to talk about it, is there is a universal vision in the political culture, not just the nation, from the self to the family to the nation and beyond. So the idea is we are all part of the people under heaven. It's all 天下, all under heaven. So that's our world. And our commitment to a nation or to family ought to be connected with our commitment to the global world. So the idea of global citizenship is very interesting. Some societies just cannot rise above national interests. Some groups cannot writes about family interests. If you confuse Confucian ethics with family ethics, you confuse Confucian ethics with mafia ethics. If you compare Confucian ethics, you know, you think that Confucian ethics can only rise up to national interest. You confuse Confucian ethics with American ethics. I mentioned that even Senator Mandel, or the Vice President candidate, when I asked the question in the meeting about the ability for American government or society to rise above national interest, so take national interest, sometimes more, not as important as international interest. And he thought about it for quite a few seconds, long seconds, then said, national interest is good for me. It's good enough for me. Because as you know, in Boston, a great congressman by the name of Tip O'Neill made the remark that all politics is local. That's the American situation. You know, no politician can afford not to be local. If the senator of Massachusetts thinks that the interest of California is just as important, you know, as interest of Massachusetts, you'll be out of the office. If the president believes that decisions made by United Nations sometimes more binding than say decisions made by the White House or the Congress, there's no way.
Can I ask you something?
Yes.
Doesn't that sort of tie in with the idea of sequential ordering of things, though? I mean, if you have to take care of your family or your kingdom first before you kind of...
Very good question. But I would argue that it's sequential has to be understood in a more complicated way. It's not true that you first cultivate yourself, then you regulate the family, then you govern the state, then you bring peace to the world or under the world. So it's A, B, C, D. Actually, what you need to look at it is from A to B, from self-cultivation to regulating family, then self-cultivation is implicated in regulated family. So B is always A and B. It's never B. You move to C, then all the other. You move to D, in other words, all under heaven, peace all under heaven, then self-cultivation.